What up, y'all? I'm gonna tell you 3 reasons why you need to master your time and why mastering your time is really mastering your life. What's up? I'm Jamai. This is another episode of Manifesting Stardom. I tell y'all about the stuff I'm going through. I tell you about the things I'm focused on. And this is my journey to being the biggest star in the world. And so today, I really woke up today like, yo, I create a schedule every day. Like every day, I have a daily schedule, and it used to be I used to do it the night before, but now I do it in the morning because sometimes I just wake up at different times. So like as I'm laying in the bed, I'll do my schedule for the day, and it's down to the minute. And I've evolved over the years to have like break times in my schedule, but even still, I still don't stick to the schedule. And part of that was because the schedule was too tight. But the other part of it is just like in the midst of the day, I just get distracted. I just might doom scroll for 5 or 10 minutes here or there. I might want to ask a question to ChatGPT, and then I get stuck in that realm, or I get a phone call, or something happen, or it's so many distractions. But it's like we have to be so diligent about our time, especially because we all only have a certain amount of time that when we're able to be productive, and two, where we're mentally in a space where we can be productive. Like what we have to realize is that we all have a willpower battery. So at some point of the day, no matter what we no matter what we say we're going to do, our ability to make decisions gets fatigued. And so if you've been up since 4, 5, or 6, you're not going to be able to make the best optimal decisions by 8 or 9 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? If you get up at 8 or 9, you go to work, you spend a whole day, you're not going to be able to make the best optimal decisions when you get home from work and you got to do stuff in the evening. And so we have to find the times that are most optimal and really protect that time. And so even me, my morning time is sacred. That is the time. I'm naturally a morning person. I'm naturally a productive person. But if I waste this morning time or let life bring in things that aren't as important, and which it does every day, tries to do every day, I'll never be productive. And so you gotta be really aggressive and really diligent about your time, because if you don't own it, the day will own you. And life and all its demands, and your family and your friends and your job and whatever all other things pulling at you, they're going to always pull at you, and you'll never move forward with where you want to move to. So I got 3 points of why you need to master your time and why you need to master your time down to the minutes. Um, First reason is, discipline is greater than feelings, and I can attest to it. I was just before I prayed, I was stretching. I always do my morning stretch, and after I stretch, I got like 10 minutes allotted for my stretch, but it takes me about 5 minutes, but I just allotted 10 minutes for it. So all right, cool. I did my stretch. So when I'm done, I got like 3, 4 minutes. And in my mind, because I'm thinking about business ideas and I'm just always brainstorming on ways to make money, I had a business idea that I wanted to ask Chat about, but I stopped myself because I know that it will be the thing that'll derail me and take me down another path when I only got 3 minutes before I need to start prayer. And then I would justify that normally by saying, well, I'm going to forget, which is true. I might not remember this question later. I might not, I might be ruminating or thinking about it longer than I need to, as opposed to just asking Chat or doing the research and moving forward. However, if it's that important, it'll come back up. If it's that important, I can make a voice note, or I can ask Chat and don't read her response and get back to it later. Yes, I call ChatGPT her. I believe she's a therapist. I think she's one of the smartest creatures ever to exist for us. So when I ask Chat, when I get back to her, she'll let me know what's up. And so what I have here is, you're falling behind isn't You falling behind isn't about your schedule. It's about obeying your feelings in the moment instead of your plan. And if it's time to move, it's time to move. No negotiating. And that's a prime example. My feelings was, well, let me ask Chad, let me do some research because this could be a business opportunity, and then I justify it with that. But the reality is, you had a schedule. So you need to get to that schedule. You need to stick to that schedule and get back to that, or put that in your notes to get back to, or schedule that to be handled at a later time. You know what I'm saying? The scripture for that is Proverbs 6:9-11. It says, how long will you lie there, you sluggard? A little sleep, a little slumber, and poverty will come to you like a thief. And the translation for that is, every small delay compounds. It's the death of 1,000 cuts. I don't know if you ever heard of that saying. It's the death of 1,000 cuts. It's all these little micro corners you cut. These little slithers of things that by themselves they don't amount to much. But 1,000 of those cuts will kill you. You know what I'm saying? And every 5 minutes, or every 3 minute, or let me just do this 10 minutes, 5 minutes here, that's cuts in your day, to where, as though, like I spoke before, by the end of the day, you won't even have the same willpower. Your brain won't be as fresh as it is now to get all of the things done that need to be done that are important. So that every 5 minutes is still in your future. The second point is, every minute is seed time. When you treat your day loosely, you plan inconsistently. When you treat your day with time precisely, you plan successfully. There are 100 things that we have in our home and in our lives that we can rationalize are important to take care of right now. It took me, I read this book. Yeah, I can't remember the author, but the book is titled The One Thing. And it talks about how you need to focus on one thing at a time. And one of the things that book freed me from is, I don't like a junky house. I'm the type of person where when I leave the house, I will clean as I'm dirtying up my room, getting dressed, I'll be cleaning up as I'm getting dressed, because I can't get dressed if it's too chaotic. When I cook, I gotta make sure the kitchen is clean before I cook. And all those things are still true. But what I've done is I free myself from the restriction of doing things that are not going to directly make me money or directly serve me over the things that will. So an example is, I don't do laundry no more. I decided that paying somebody to dropping my clothes off at the laundromat and paying them $20 for them to wash and fold my basket is far more beneficial than me spending a whole day or half a day washing clothes or washing clothes every day and spending an hour to 2 hours folding. And if I got 3-4 loads, it might take me 3.5, 4 hours to fold. That's time that I do not have. That is not, yes, it's helping me mentally. Yes, it's helping me. And probably the best thing about it was, I would watch podcasts or documentaries, stuff that I don't get the chance to watch. I would watch it while I'm folding clothes. But in the grand scheme of things, that is not helping me. That is not helping my career get to the next level. That's not helping any of my entrepreneurial efforts. All that's doing is helping me tidy up my space. When the reality is, you worried about the money that you spend that money so you can make more money. So I don't wash clothes. Another thing is, like, I've allowed myself to not spend a whole day meal prepping. That's crazy. And especially for somebody that does not work a regular job where I have to be out the house for 8 or 10 hours every day at a certain time. No, you're going to season them chicken breasts up, put them in a container, and when you're ready to eat that time, you throw it in the air fryer while you're doing something and you make your food. But I would spend 4, 5, 6 hours meal prepping, going to the market, buying all of the groceries, making up the plans. Bro, I am not a housewife. And that's no disrespect to the housewives, and that's no disrespect for people that do. But when it came down to the precision of my time, you have to prioritize not what in theory is the best thing, but what is the most optimal for you to move forward and to get the most out of your day. Me cooking for 3 hours does nothing for my career. Me doing laundry does nothing for my career. It does. Certainly, I need to have clean clothes. Certainly, I need to eat right, and meal prep will save me money. But it does nothing for my career because time is my most important currency. Time is the only thing I can't get back. I can get money, but I cannot get the time back. And so we have to be precise with our time. And even when it comes down to my morning schedule, I find myself running behind because I start doom scrolling, or I get so. A lot of times, what happens is, when I'm studying on piano or guitar, I'm usually learning something that I haven't learned before, or that I can't get, something hard. Because, excuse me, it's not practice if you already know it. It's not practice if it's something you can do fluidly and effortlessly. Practice is stretching yourself to something that you don't really know. And so a lot of times that can be frustrating or mentally fatiguing. And so I just naturally pull, I go over and I can't get it, and I do it a couple times, and I naturally pull my phone and I scroll because I just need to give my brain a hot second. But that scroll becomes 2 to 3 minutes. Mind you, when I'm practicing, I'm on a timer. So every time I'm on I got 30 minutes to practice piano, 30 minutes to practice guitar. So every time I pick up that phone, I either need to pause my timing, or if I don't pause the time, I'm scrolling when I should be practicing. So I'm like, from now on, I'm gonna turn my phone off while I'm practicing. And I've done that before. I've been successful with it at times, but also be having the anxiety of like gigs, like as an entrepreneur. It's like there's a part of me that's like, I need to always make sure I'm available for potential leads or inquiries and stuff. So I deal with that. But the reality is there has to be some priority on your time, because if you don't aggressively manage your time, life will steal the time away from you. And life is always going to provide a valid excuse. Life is always going to provide you with a valid excuse of why you shouldn't be productive. Oh, you got to pick up your mom. Oh, your aunt need this. Oh, your little brother called. Oh, this happened. Oh, your car. Oh, the insurance. Oh, the house. Oh, the insurance man, the mailman, the this, the that, the tech. Bro, it's going to always be a valid excuse for you to say, I'll do that. I come. No, you have to prioritize your time and do what you know matters. And that's also why it's a great It's a great thing to get up early, because typically the earlier you get up, the less distractions you'll have with your spouse, with your friends. If you live with anybody, your phone ringing, your job demands. The earlier you get up, the more solitude you'll have. You know what I'm saying? The more those emails or those phone messages or social media notifications or business inquiries are less likely. If you're up at 4:30, you up at 5, 6 doing what you got to do, you're less likely to be deterred by other people's requests. And the scripture for that is Ephesians 5:15-16. It says, "Be very careful then how you live, making the most of every opportunity." You're not just passing time. You're not just passing time. You're either investing it or you're wasting it. Just like the saying, they say you're either moving forward or moving backwards. And that's certainly that's for true with your time. You're either investing it or you're wasting it. There is no neutral space with your time. The value is either in your wasting time or you're investing it. Spending time with your family, you can call that as investing in time to develop the relationship and those. But spending time on Netflix, you're probably wasting time. You have the autonomy to decide that, but you also know what it is. The last point is order creates peace and power. When your day has structure, your mind is free to execute. When your day is chaotic, your energy gets drained making decisions. God operates in order. God is so magical and so creative, but God operates in order. And it says, and you're strongest, and you are your strongest when you do too. So God operates in order, and you're your strongest when you do too. And I think a good example is like when I go to the gym, right? When I go to my gym, my body remotely automatically goes to the machines that I work on. My body, my mind knows where everything is in my gym. When I'm on leg day, I know what I'm doing. When I'm hitting shoulders, I know what I'm doing. But when I go to a different gym and I'm not familiar with their layout, I'm not familiar with their machines, half of the time I'm there, I'm looking to see what does this do, or what is that, or what's around this corner, what's back here, what machines they got, what they weight limit up. That's half of my time because I'm having to decide because my structure isn't laid out. My structure isn't laid out because I'm not in a familiar space. And so that's what we have to realize about our structure in our day is if we don't have a schedule, that means we are dealt with the task of deciding from moment to moment what we'll do. But if you have a schedule, you don't have to decide anything. You just got to do it. And so sitting down and saying, well, what am I going to do today? Or what should I do? Or that's wasting time in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? Creating a system that you just know what you need to do is going to serve you 100 times over, because every day you're not going to have the motivation to make the right decisions. You're not going to have the discipline to create the right schedule. But if your schedule is already structured, if you have a system, you're just like, it's like, I'm tired, but I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm tired, but I'm going to put my one sock on after the other. I'm tired, but I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to pray. I'm tired. Your system is what it is because you know what your system is, because it's structured. You don't get to decide, am I going to watch a movie first before I get up and rest now and then? Or should I make coffee and then I'm going to chill and then I'm going to take the dog for a walk and then I'm going to start? No, whatever your schedule is, you don't have to make those decisions, because making the decision is tiring and fatiguing and taxing mentally and emotionally anyway. And so that's what we have to realize, that once we create the structure, all we have to do is execute. And the scripture for that is 1 Corinthians 14:40. It says, but everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way. Structure isn't restriction. Structure is freedom. Structure removes excuses. And so if I can master my minutes, if I can master my time, if I can master, those incremental things, I can master my life. Because it takes 60 minutes to make an hour. So if you're not wasting 5 minutes here, and you're not wasting 5 minutes there, and 3 minutes here, and 7 minutes there, you're building time for more freedom. And today, I'm done being late to life. I'm done being late to the life that I want. I'm done being late to the life that I pray for. The worst thing or the biggest fear is that God gives me an opportunity, or God blesses me, or I arrive at the season in which God is going to release favor and I haven't prepared for it. I haven't practiced. I haven't been diligent enough. I haven't worked for it. And now I missed the mark. I would hate to get to the end of this life and look back and say I wasted time. I still got more in the can, but I didn't really put my best foot forward. And so I didn't get all of the things out that I always wanted, So if you execute this right, this isn't just something that you just oh, these are minutes. No, these are investments and buckets into your future, into your success, into your bank account, into your life. You know what I'm saying? So master your minutes, bro. Master your minutes. Master your minutes. And trust that God will favor your natural with his super. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's my time. I'm 2 minutes behind because I'm talking to y'all. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. You already know, man, it's that time, man. You already know. I'll see y'all tomorrow.